I think what you know of me is I'm a straight shooter. You may not like me. You may think I'm arrogant. You may think I'm crass. That's understanding how things land differently for different people. I totally get it. But I'm a straight shooter. And the media's got a bunch of phonies in it, a bunch of backstabbers, a bunch of traitors. I mean, this is the way the media operates. So this morning I'm driving to work, and everybody in the media is like, oh, my God, did you hear the story about Wake Forest where their radio announcer leaked game plans? His name is Tommy Elrod. And he used to be on the staff, and then he didn't get promoted, but they kept him around to do work on the game broadcasts. Well, let's start with this. So he's a guy that got passed up for a job promotion, and he just moved up into the radio booth. And apparently he gave some information to some people. And I'm thinking to myself, first of all, Wake Forest is going to a bowl this year. They've gone to 3 in a decade. This clearly didn't have that much of an effect. If he's leaking information and they're making a bowl, it didn't have that much of an effect. But the second thing is, I've worked in the media for 30 years. It is traitors, moles, double agents, and backstabbers to preserve your own job. That's what it's always been. And the same people outraged this morning have been the same people for years and years and years that have leaked information that could hurt their coworkers. Listen, there was a website out there, and I don't know how viable it is. It's called Deadspin. It was basically created on ESPN leaks. The site was irrelevant. And then multiple people started leaking stuff to it inside the biggest sports company in the world, and their clicks went through the roof. They were built on leaks. So the same company this morning, the same people this morning that are outraged by leaks have been leaking. I always had a rule in this business. And I'm not really a reporter anymore. I'm more of an opinion guy. I don't go into locker rooms, right? I have a lot of sources, but it's mostly to get opinions out. But when I was working as a reporter, my number one rule to get information, and Kristine, you've done this before, it was always to find disgruntled employees or people who had been passed over. They talk a lot. They talk a lot. In America today, think about America today. Somebody's been passed over for a job. Somebody's been fired. You think those people are rooting for the people that fired them? You think those people are rooting for the people that got the job and the 6-figure raise they wanted? No, they get on the phone and they become a mole. That's the way the world works. Self-preservation, especially among men who are judged by their career and their professional success. Maybe it doesn't work that way with women, but I got to tell you something. I mean, there are people at my former employer. I mean, when I got hired here, there was somebody at this company on the air that didn't like me and badmouthed me. It came back to me about a week later. That's the world I live in. That's the world I live in. So all these people who are just outraged in the media have multiple times hurt their fellow employees with self-preservation leaking to a blog or leaking to a website. That'll happen today. You're not helping your fellow employee doing that. That's why I've always said I stay out of that game. I don't talk to media critics. I don't DM bloggers. I could say something ends up hurting a fellow employee. So when I hear it's just so sanctimonious today. Just so sanctimonious. Oh, can you believe a guy that was passed over? Let's just say it out loud. Can you believe a guy that was passed over for a job promotion but stayed with the company leaked information? That's never happened before. I mean, I know guys who have been married with kids, get a divorce, and can't even treat their ex-wives with respect, knowing that's the mom of their children. And they won't pay them, and they won't do. You're hurting your own kids. You don't think you're going to hurt a random employee if you don't get the job promotion you want or you get fired? So, and if you don't think this is happening today in college football and in pro football and corporate America, what happened there isn't happening this hour. You're nuts. Somebody's on the phone. Somebody's texting. Somebody's on a Gmail. Somebody is communicating with either to hurt a fellow employee for self-preservation or looking to give a rival information for self-preservation or to stick it to the boss. I mean, I don't like what this guy did. I'm not encouraging it. But God, the sanctimony with the media is laughable. It's laughable. This is so corrupt. God, corrupt. It's happening today.